What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Post-Gazette Pirates YouTube channel. He's Andrew Destin. I am Noah Hiles. Bucks fall 2-1 to the Braves today in Bradenton. We've got your recap here, 3 big takeaways. Andrew, I'll let you start off. You had the game story. What was number 1?
Yeah, we got to talk about Jared Jones.
Yeah,
right?
that's the obvious one.
Yeah,
here.
Made his spring training debut today and debuted a new pitch in the two-seam fastball. It's something he's been working on here for a few months. I don't know about you, Noah. I thought it looked pretty darn good, and the first piece of example of that was shattering Garrett Cooper's bat.
Yeah, and it's interesting because we were both sitting in different sections behind home plate. We didn't even know where each other were. But I was texting Andrew during the game, and I was saying, because our analytics website or whatever that we use, I was like, hey, this is saying it's a slider, but this doesn't look like a slider. It looks like a pretty solid two-seamer, and the metrics reflect that. The velocity on it was, 94, I believe, was an average velo. He threw it 5 times out of his 27 pitches. An overall very good sign for Jared Jones. And I think, like you mentioned with the broken bat, stuff like that is going to give Jared more encouragement, more of a reason to keep pursuing this and make this third pitch a bigger part of his arsenal.
Yeah, positive reinforcement with any young guy. Listen, Jared Jones been there, done that, right? Had a great rookie year by most measures. It didn't end the way he wanted it to, but he had a lot to feel good about, right? Aside from the injury. For him to get this kind of positive reinforcement from the outset, we're in February. I think that's really important for him to, have that buy-in. Yeah,
and like you kind of mentioned, Jared's a guy where, he's intense. He talked to us after the game about how in the offseason he had to put a strict cap on his bullpens. He said if it wasn't feeling good after 30 pitches, I would still stop because I'm the type of guy who would throw 100-pitch bullpens in the offseason, and you can't do that for anyone who doesn't understand. And when you're learning something new, when you've already mastered, and obviously he hasn't mastered the game of baseball, but he has an elite fastball.
Yep.
He has an elite slider. He's had very good results at the game's highest level with those two things. It's going to take a little bit of time to get the third pitch there, and it can be frustrating when you're seeing other guys get to work with their normal arsenals where you have to take time to expand it. And it seems like he's got the right mentality on how to go about this.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's just the most important thing is the mentality aspect of it. We know what kind of a bulldog that Jared Jones is once he gets onto the mound in a competitive setting. By all indications, a good start for him and a good start for another young righty, Thomas Harrington. We saw him make his spring training debut of 2025. It was really brief last year because he ended up hurting his right shoulder.
Yeah.
I believe he only pitched 1 inning last year in spring training.
I think that sounds right.
Yeah, so I thought he looked pretty good today.
It's just funny to me. I didn't get a chance to watch a lot of Harrington, so I'm going to rely on you to do more analysis here. But seeing them go from Jones to Harrington, is there a bigger change in, the way the guy throws the ball, the guy who is throwing the ball? It is just two totally different types of pitchers, people really, and I think that's kind of encompassing why the Pirates love this rotation so much. There's just so many different weapons to use, and Harrington is a unique one.
Yeah, 100% he is, and I think the most important thing that I took away from today is that pitch mix, it's a diverse one. That's really what he prides himself on, and why he drew a comparison, I believe it was last week, to pitching coach Oscar Marine. He compared him to Ryan Vogelsong for his pitchability, his feel for the strike zone, his ability to throw any pitch in any count and get a strike with it. I think we got a good example of that today. He did throw 27 pitches in 1 inning, so not the most efficient of frames. Obviously, you're nitpicking there, but I think it's important to recognize that maybe he didn't have necessarily the best of stuff. He's not going to blow in a 100-mile-an-hour fastball by you, but he can be an effective, I think. He can be an effective back-end starter one day for this team, and probably relatively soon because of that pitch mix.
Yeah. Third one, I think we should talk about somebody who wasn't a pitcher. Yeah. And I think there's an easy answer for this one as well, Andrew.
Yeah, Bryan Hiles. Yeah. Just another great spring training game for him. 2 for 2. Had 1 ball that he hit 105 miles an hour per baseball savant.
Yeah.
As you astutely pointed out, stole a base.
Yes.
That's something that doesn't happen all the time with Bryan Hiles. If you look at the numbers, he did have a good number. I think he had 11 stolen bases last year, but regardless, when he's not healthy, the stolen bases go away, so that's a nice sign.
That's my bigger takeaway. Cool, congrats, you stole a base in February, but it's a guy whose back we didn't know was ever going to be fixed at the end of last season. We wrote about it. Right. They were still looking for answers, and the fact that this guy's healthy enough where they're giving him at bats even on days he's not starting at third base.
Yep.
And when he's on base, he's looking to steal. That's something you do when a player's at full health.
Right.
And that's a very encouraging sign for this team because As Derek Shelton has said a million times, this is a better ball club when Bryan Hiles is operating at 100%.
Yeah, they know what he's capable of. This is a guy who was a Gold Glove winner in 2023. The defense and the offense took a step back last year. By all indications, it is February, but you would have hoped for a strong start from the guy versus the opposite. Think how much of a conversation or topic it would be if he wasn't playing right now, if he wasn't hitting in any capacity or was DH only and not fielding. Those kinds of issues, they're being avoided for right now. By all indications, a good start for Bryan Hiles.
Andrew Bailey Falter takes the hill tomorrow against the Orioles here at LECOM. What are you looking to see from him?
Yeah, I'm just curious to see where the velo is at with him. I know it's something that I bring up a lot with starting pitchers, but I think with Bailey Falter, it's especially interesting because, yeah, he's a guy who last year, that was a really big workload for him. Is he going to be doing the slow build? Last year, he came into camp and was really excited about the offseason work he did out in Arizona, where he now lives full-time. His velocity was up last year at the start of spring training. He was in a good spot from the start, and it kind of trickled down as the season went on. I'm curious, what did his offseason throwing program look like, and how does he look to start this year?
I just want to see if he can get outs. Bailey Falter was not good in spring last year. He was he was solid in the regular season, best year of his career. But I remember there was like an outcry. People couldn't believe that this guy made the team.
Right.
And he ended up being, again, a solid back end of the rotation starter. But I would like to see Bailey, take a step forward and come in and get some outs with efficiency tomorrow against the Birds.
Yeah, something to monitor. And certainly, we'll also have our eyes on the second leg of the split squad day. Mike Burrows will be out throwing against the Braves down at their stadium, Cool Today Park. So, a lot to keep tabs on tomorrow. We're going to have our hands full, but I'm sure we'll have all the content and all the coverage for you guys.
And you can follow that content at post-gazette.com. He's Andrew Destin. I'm Noah Hiles. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already to our YouTube channel. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you for checking out this content from Post-Gazette Sports. If you watch this video on YouTube, please like the video and subscribe to our channel. For all of the sports coverage the Post-Gazette has to offer, visit post-gazette.com.